Hey folks, welcome to John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. It's a very cold day in March, but we're going to catch walleyes on the Wisconsin River.
Hey, hey, John Gillespie!
This is phenomenal. Massive Slavosaurus, big butt Muscalungo. Hey guys, I got an 11-pounder. Look at that thing, man. Oh no. Look at the tummy on that thing too, buddy.
That's a toad.
Yes, folks, here we are in the middle of March, kind of a brisk spring day, but we're up in the Dells with our buddy guide, Big Dave Ehardt. And Dave, you know, we had high water earlier in March, and that has actually helped the walleye fishing up here, huh?
Yeah, John, high water on river systems is what triggers the fish to move up from the lakes up to the dams. So I think we're going to have some pretty good fishing today.
Now, technique-wise, is it a live bait deal? Or?
You can catch them in a lot of different ways. Now, the water's still cold. It's still only about 36 degrees, but guys have been catching them on artificial baits, twister tails, kaolin grubs, and then a split shot and a hook and a minnow is always deadly.
Hey, folks, so show what we're using and how we're using it. All of that coming up right after this.
The future of boating is here. Easy to own and fun to drive. The EVINRUDE E-TEC G2. Now from 150 to 300 horsepower.
And it was just so easy to drive, not having to worry about the trim. I could just gas it and go, and that's where I fell in love with the engine.
I could drive my boat literally with one finger.
And for the first time ever, EVINRUDE is offering an unheard of 10 years of coverage on all engines and accessories.
I love my G2.
Offer ends March 31st. For details, visit evinrude.com.
Now's the time to get tires at Mills Fleet Farm. Buy 4 CS5 Grand Touring or Ultra Touring tires. Get rewarded with $120 in special offers. The Shimano Sienna 1000 spinning reel is the preferred choice for fishermen, just $19.99. Stock up on delicious Fleet Farm chocolates, 2 1-pound bags, $6. Sprout Bites and Bones dog food is on sale, a 40-pound bag, just $14.99 at Mills Fleet Farm.
Love it!
Introducing 2 new families of ATVs from YAMAHA. The all-new Grizzly and Kodiak 700. The new Grizzly offers increased power and performance to deliver more exploration and more adventure. The new Kodiak 700 features legendary Yamaha reliability for more productivity and more value. The all-new Grizzly and Kodiak 700 ATVs, all with more than ever before.
Welcome back, folks. I'll tell you what, that's not a bad walleye coming in there, David.
I think that's a sauger, John.
Is that a sauger?
Well, that might be a walleye.
Yeah, that is a walleye. But I'll tell you what, we got to be honest with the folks. A lot of current, and we've been really struggling.
They're struggling,
up to this point.
Caught a couple small ones, but maybe we'll get a few more. That's not quite going to make it, but you know, we had some pretty extreme weather this week and a big cold front that came through, so maybe they're going to start turning on for us.
Hey, there's my buddy Dennis in the front of the boat there, buddy.
Is it a nice one, Dennis?
Oh,
there's
nice
a
flip
keeper
in there. You know, it's interesting, Dave, and this is really a good sign because, you know, 3 or 4 years ago, the numbers were down here. It is great to see these 13, 14-inch fish, isn't it?
Yeah, John, it's that's about 1.5 years old fish, and they grow in a hurry here, so.
You know, these aren't big walleyes today, folks, but we're battling current and everything else. And let's see what we got coming in here. We have ourselves a very small walleye.
Yeah.
But Dave, this is kind of worth talking about. When you got cold fronts come through, and you know we had real warm weather last week, folks, and very cold weather this week, sometimes you got to go as basic as you can. And basic is, on the Wisconsin River, a split shot, about 1.5 foot of line, and a gold hook. And Dave, there are times when that's the only thing that'll work, right?
Yeah, John, we were vertical jigging, and as soon as they felt that jig, they were dropping it. And about the only people that were catching fish other than Curt are guys just dropping an anchor and letting them sit out there. So sometimes just a nice slow presentation, and simpler the better. Another one, huh, John?
Well, I'll tell you what, these aren't big fish, but after a long winter,
it feels good to be out in the boat again.
Feels good to be in the boat. Now that is a walleye. Oh, is that a sauger, Dave?
That might be a saw guy.
There,
yeah, he's got spots on the dorsal fin.
Yeah, and that could be a saw guy, a cross between a walleye and a sauger.
That is a sauger.
That is.
Doesn't have the white on the tail.
Okay,
but,
there's no white on the tail,
and you got
the old dots here.
Yep.
Well, not the biggest sauger I ever caught, but it felt good.
Oh, they're making us work today, John.
Yeah. Well, this old Elite Tech's been a little bit better, David.
Well, hopefully there'll
And
be a couple
folks,
keepers
this is
in here.
unbelievable. Just casting that out and letting it get to the bottom. And not even moving it, really. Here
Yeah,
it
it
comes.
seems
Oh,
like the
there's a good fish, David.
Slower the better today.
go,
Oh,
buddy.
there's a nice keeper, John.
Yeah,
there we go, finally.
And see, folks, I let that fish go for a long time. And you can see where that hook is at. Just barely took it. But I want to show the folks here, Dave, something that you taught me years ago. And these are these little gold mustad hooks. And the nice thing is, in a river, if you get caught up on a piece of wood or a snag, that'll actually bend out and you get your hook back. But here's what Dave taught me, folks, a lot of times when you're running rods behind the boat, tail hooking the minnow. And why do you do that, Dave?
Well, what we're doing is throwing it out there and then just dragging it back real slow. And what that bait fish is just swimming away and really struggling. And those fish like to suck it up head first. So you tail hook them, and it's swimming away from the current when we're dragging it backwards like that, and it gets their attention. That split shot's beating up the sand a little bit, and these minnows are trying to go the other direction, and it really gets their attention.
Okay, folks, you saw the rig that we're using, just the split shot and the mustad hook and the tail hook minnow. And what you're doing is just casting out behind the boat there and letting that go all the way to the bottom. Dave says bottom contact is extremely important. And you adjust your size of the sinker to the type of current you have for that day. Once it's on the bottom, all I'm doing is a little sweep with the rod, let it go back down to the bottom, little sweep with the rod. And the bite is very subtle. It'll feel just kind of like a little bit of a wet sock hanging on the end. And Dave, do you have to give them a lot of time once you get the hit?
Yeah, the way they're biting today, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll grab it and then they'll suck it in. So it's like a two-step process. They're not really biting aggressively, so they'll grab it to hold it and then they'll flare their gills and suck it in. So yeah, like you said, just drag it back real slow. You'll feel that little bit of pressure and just let off on it and set the hook.
Well, Dave, I'll tell you
that
what.
one's putting a nice bend in the rod,
It
too.
is one after another. We've only got the one legal so far. But you know what, folks? You want to come up here to the Dells and fish. The cool thing about coming up here, most of the time, is you're going to get a lot of numbers. And if you pick away throughout the course of a whole day, you're going to get 4 or 5 legals. And Dave, one thing I love about the Wisconsin River here in the Dells area, these are delicious walleyes, aren't they?
Yeah, it's all sand bottom. There's not a lot of mud and muck. You know, you get up by Petenwell and even Castle Rock, you know, where they had all those paper mills. There's a lot of muck and silt there, and here it's all, this water's always moving. They're not sitting in, you know, in mud or anything here, so it's completely different fish compared to up there. Oh, finally, John.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not fast and furious.
It's not.
But
This one might be pretty close. Oh, there's a nice one.
oh yeah, there's a
keeper.
beautiful walleye, Dave.
You know, that one was sitting right underneath the boat. I just had it hanging right over the back of the boat.
Did you? Oh, and that's a head hook minnow, huh?
Yeah, that one I had head hooks.
But boy, I'll tell you what, without a super line, if
You wouldn't feel these
mono,
bites, not at all.
And I'm glad that you like that Cigar Smackdown, because you can put 20-pound test on and fish it for walleyes, lake trout, all different species, but it casts like 6-pound test.
Yeah, it feels like 6-pound test, but yeah, that's some phenomenal stuff. But
And again, that's called Cigar Smackdown.
Smackdown, yep.
Yeah, great super line, but that's a nice walleye.
Yeah, there's
right
a
there.
keeper, just barely
Hold 'em up
legal.
Again. I mean, you know.
Yeah, perfect eating size. This one's got a lot more green to it.
Now this one feels pretty good,
Oh,
Dave.
that one's, I might have to get the
Yeah,
Frable
you might
out,
have
huh?
to get the Frable for this guy.
Good deal.
All right, man. He's
Putting a nice
staying
bend
down,
in the
too.
rod.
Ooh, yeah, man.
He's staying down there.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe you got a sturgeon.
I don't know, man. No, I don't think it's a sturgeon, but,
Hopefully you got a nice big walleye
but
on there.
it's
Oh,
fighting really good, buddy.
this is a nice net.
Yeah, where's that Frable at?
I got it. I
Okay,
got
you
it.
got her?
Yep.
Okay.
That one's staying down.
Yeah,
That's
it
a
is.
nice fish there.
Ooh. Boy, it's a big fish. Ooh, there it is.
It is.
Hey.
There you go.
A sturgeon loony.
Another country heard from.
No, that's cool, folks. And you know, they have an open season, hook and line season for sturgeon here in the fall. And they're just such a cool fish to catch. And Dave is truly the guru of sturgeon fishing. He guided many years for these things.
Yeah.
And that's a youngster, right?
Yeah, that's just a little baby. That's only a few years old.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're an interesting prehistoric fish. And what's the biggest one you've ever seen in here, Dave, or caught?
Somebody got one that was 110 pounds that was 72 inches, but there's some big ones in here that look like telephone poles. That one's probably 4 or 5 years old.
And these fins on the back, these are real
sharp. They're like razor blades.
Okay.
And then they smooth out as they get older.
Well, if you can, one thing that's really interesting, and we'll release this fish right away, if you can show the fish, the folks the mouth on these fish.
Oh, sure.
And that's how they feed, kind of?
Yeah, they just suck stuff up off the bottom, or...
Yeah, look at that mouth.
And you get them big ones that'll come out like an accordion way out here.
And that's the mouth on the fish, and they swim along the bottom.
Yep.
But when we fish them in the fall, we use night crawlers, right?
Yep, 2 or 3 night crawlers on a big hook, and good job. I was hoping that was a walleye that size, John.
Too, but when he stayed down like that,
yeah, when he started heading upriver, that's kind of a telltale sign.
Well, we're getting towards dark, and you put a kilo scrub on there, huh?
You bet.
All right, yeah, this is one thing we like to do. You need that Frable, Dave?
I think I can flip him in.
Flip her in, Dave.
Hey.
All right, buddy. No,
boy, he swallowed it. Look how he swallowed.
Did he ever? Holy cow.
That jig, it's a 5-inch Kalen on there, and he just inhaled it.
But as you get towards evening here, folks, there's a lot of people that fish on shore, and you switch to artificials that last hour.
Yeah, they for some reason, they just hit them a lot more aggressively.
We were fishing the Wisconsin River in Wisconsin Dells, a 2-hour drive from Milwaukee, 2.5 hours from Chicago, and 3.5 hours from Minneapolis.
Get the most protection for your vehicles and toys and the most bang for your buck with the AMSOIL Preferred Customer Program. Join today and receive up to 25% savings on AMSOIL products, exclusive product and shipping promotions, free AMSOIL gear, points on all purchases, referral rewards. Register today and take advantage of all the benefits offered by the AMSOIL Preferred Customer Program. Visit amsoil.com/PC.
The new Acme Rattlemaster has a built-in echo chamber with a brass rattle that calls fish in. The body's solid brass too and won't bend or dull, and reflects fish attracting light all over the water column. This 1-2 punch of sight and sound means you make less casts because the fish come to you. Rip it or shake it for crappie, walleye, northern, salmon, or trout, and experience multi-species action with just one bait.
Folks, when I head out to fish, I always stock up on my favorite Baitmate fish attractants. Dale, I just put that Baitmate on, man. Baitmate offers a complete line of fish attractants and convenient spray bottles for every angler and every species of fish. They've got your bait covered. I also have the newest Baitmate delivery system in my boat, Baitmate Ultra Live Game Fish Dip. Simply flip open the lid and dip your bait for even application every time, and it's ideal for frequent casting. I just dipped that in the Baitmate, you know that? Improve your chances of catching fish with Baitmate fish attractants. It just makes sense. Folks, I am really excited about this new Johnsonville product. We have flame grilled chicken breasts. No hormones in this meat, folks. It's never been frozen. This is really high quality stuff.
Absolutely, John. They're hand-trimmed chicken breasts, fully seasoned, ready to go. Put them in the microwave for 1 minute, and there's your dinner.
Healthiest treat I've ever seen, and they come in individual packages, so you open one package and put it in for 30 seconds?
Exactly. Vent it, cook it in its individual packages, and there it's marinating and getting all the delicious juices.
Is that good? So moist and tender.
Yeah, they are. And Tom, you can also eat those cold in a salad or a sandwich.
Absolutely. They're great warm or cold.
Johnsonville
Flame grilled chicken.
Coming to a grocery store near you quite soon. I'll tell you what, folks, March is an interesting month in Wisconsin. Quit fishing last night. It was about 40 degrees. Woke up this morning about 10 degrees.
Yeah, all the minnows were frozen and different day today, but if we can stay out of the wind, we should catch some fish.
Hey, Dennis has got something on here, Dave. What do you think it is, buddy?
I think it might be a quillback carp sucker.
Oh, yeah, here he comes.
It hit it in the mouth, though, John.
That is a quillback what?
A quillback carp sucker, it's called. Or the nickname is a high fin.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
It's funny because a lot of people get upset when they start hooking these, but if these are around, the walleyes are around. They migrate up together.
Now, I've not seen too many of those close up. I'd like to have the folks take a look at that. That's part of the carp or sucker family.
Well, it's a carp sucker. It's a combination. That scales like a carp, but it's got a sucker of a mouth.
Yeah, show the folks.
But they will hit a twister tail.
And it's got a high fin in the back?
It's got a real high fin like a rooster fish in the saltwater.
Yeah.
But they come up right with the walleyes, and the walleyes will spawn, and these guys will eat their eggs, and then they'll spawn, and the walleyes will eat their eggs.
Hold them up one more time now. There's thousands of those?
Unfortunately.
Oh, here we go, Dave, in the back of the boat. And I hope this is not one of those quillback jobs.
No, I don't think so.
It feels like a walleye.
Let me get my line in. And
yeah, I was bouncing a real heavy jig on the bottom with a minnow on it, Dave.
Yeah, between this wind and this current, we got our work cut out for us today.
Oh, I think this might be a keeper walleye. Okay.
Oh, that's a keeper.
Yeah, and that is going to be...
Nice one, John.
There we go, folks. There's a walleye. Look at the size of the jig head that I'm using, Dave. What size is that?
That's got to be, it's over 3/8. It might even be ½ ounce.
Boy, but you got to use that in this current,
yeah,
folks.
It's crazy.
Wow. And you know what I did? I just casted that out and wait till that hit the bottom and just kind of pump it so that's disturbing the bottom there.
Yep, it worked.
Well, let's see here.
Well, there's one, there's another. They're not alone this time of year.
Well, that's one of the colder walleyes I caught in a boat. There we go, David. Another one, buddy.
Hang on, I'll get the frable, John.
Look at that rod. Look at that rod.
We can't take any chances. Let me get that frable.
No, I think I can flip him in. Here he comes. Oh, it's another nice walleye. Oh, buddy.
All right.
There we go.
Oh, nice one, John. Nice fat one.
Look at the coloration on that fish, Dave.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Is that a sauger or is that a walleye?
That's a walleye, John.
That is a walleye.
Yep.
Boy,
I got the stripes like a perch.
Again, folks, I cannot believe the size of that jig. And what I'm doing is just casting out of the back of the boat, making bottom contact, and pumping them a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Just pumping it, but that's a legal fish, isn't it?
You bet. That's perfect eating size. That's 16 inches, 15
and again, folks, as we get more into late March and April, the big females will be coming up here. Dennis is going. Hey, don't lose them, Dennis. Don't lose them, Dennis.
Yeah, they're hard to come by today.
Every fish is valuable today, buddy. Ooh, there we go.
Putting a nice bending around. Oh, another nice one.
Another nice walleye right
hey,
there.
That one looks like it'll make
there,
it.
David.
Yeah, you got it on that Kalin's.
But there's a lot of times you were telling me, Dave, when the Kalin's will outfish the minnows.
Oh, yeah. That's,
hold them up.
We got a really severe cold front here today, John, and we're probably going to have to switch tactics and go real simple, but when the water warms up, we still got 34-degree water temperature, believe it or not, but once that water gets up in the mid-40s, they'll just clobber those twister tails.
Hey, David, another one, buddy.
John, good job.
Okay,
Let me grab
man.
the frable.
Ooh, here he is. Here he is.
The frable.
There
Oh, another nice one.
Hey.
Oh, good job, John. He was out in the current a little bit more.
Yeah, just dragging that jig, and you really don't want to pop it too much this time of year, folks, when you got water temperatures in the low to mid-30s. It's more of just a drag, little twitch, and a drag, right, Dave?
Yeah, just drag. When you feel a little weight, let off it, let them suck it in, and then cross their eyes.
Folks, taking a break in the fishing, last year I had the pleasure of fishing with my buddy Pete Mena in his RECON boat. What really impressed me about the RECON was the smooth, solid ride, especially compared to the aluminum boats I'd been running in the past. A couple of other things about RECON. They're a top-of-the-line fiberglass boat. They're priced 20% less than their competitors. They're custom-built to your order, and they're built right here in Wisconsin. I'd like you to meet John Johnson, the craftsman behind RECON Boats.
Hi, my name is John Johnson, owner of RECON Boats and John's Custom Upholstery. We're here in Iola, Wisconsin at the factory, a full repair shop, and we build custom fiberglass fishing boats. I've carried the RECON name since 2006. I've actually been in the marine industry since 1985. This is my love of fishing, really. Got me into boats, repairing boats, fixing up my own boat. I liked repairing and building fiberglass boats. Decided to develop and bring my own RECON line out to the public. Designing the RECON boat was part of my love of fishing. Different styles, different types. We designed a multi-species fishing boat. I used to fish 5-6 nights a week, and I took a collaboration of a bunch of different friends and people and guides and pro staff and incorporated into our design of the boat with the layout, the rod storage, overall performance for a wide variety of fishing techniques and species. Each boat takes from start to finish 4 to 5 weeks depending on which model. There's cure time and set time in between, mold prep time. We always have more than one boat in process at any given time. So there's usually 4 different people that work on the boat at any given time. With the 4 to 5 weeks, we're probably looking at 350 to 400 hours total. I wasn't happy with the layout, the setup, the performance of the other boats that were out there. I've fished out of such a wide variety of boats, and each boat has its own little good thing and its own little bad thing. I tried to meld all of that together to make a boat that was as good as can be to satisfy everyone. We feel that RECON's better than other boats for performance, whole shot, the fact that you can stay up on plane at, depending on your load, 18 to 22 miles an hour. The mid-range cruising comfort, it cuts through waves, handles large waves very well. The fact that you can store 9.5-foot rods in a 19-foot boat, put all your muskie rods away, all your big trolling rods away. The overall fishability. All of our RECONs are built to order. Every boat is a custom order, built specifically for the customer. We can add colors, options, anything you can imagine. So it can be a family skier also for those few times a year when you go tubing or skiing. RECON is priced typically much lower than the competitors. We don't have as large of an overhead. We try to keep the cost down so it's affordable for all the customers and still keep the quality there and the performance there. I like to see the finished product. It keeps me going. It's nice to start it in a barrel and see it leave on a trailer ready for the water. I still like to create. I still like to build new products. The overall satisfaction of building a vehicle, building something people can enjoy, get out and fish in.
Hey, thanks, John, and I'll be proud to be running the RECON this year. Welcome to the show.
If you fish, chances are you've used a mustad hook. That's all we use.
Mark, get him in there. Army tank there, Dale. Oh, there is a big boy. I mean, I just can't believe this, folks. Oh, let's see him, buddy. Look at that. That 10 seconds, though, makes a big difference, buddy. Well, that one is a gorgeous fish. Is that pushing 3?
It's 3. We're going to weigh it.
Mustad, the world's largest manufacturer of fishing hooks. Get the point? We did.
Let us make this absolutely clear. The days of wasted casts and missed opportunities are over. New Mega Imaging takes fishing into the megahertz range for the first time, because higher frequency sonar means higher frequency of this. Without a doubt, it's the most detailed picture of the world below ever. And it's only from Humminbird.
Folks, remember you can watch all of our shows online from the past year or two simply by going to GillespieFishing.com. That's GillespieFishing.com. Curtis, way to go there, Curtis. Let's see, I hope it's another legal. Folks, it is cold out here. The old split shot and the hook there, Kurt.
Is that what that was on?
You know, and Kurt, when you're fishing an eddy like this, you want to cast into the current and drag it back into the slack?
Yep. Cast out into the current, slowly drag it back through and let it just circle around.
Now, what's that one about? 13?
14, 13 and a half, somewhere right
any
there.
fish looks good today, doesn't it?
Today, yes.
Good job, Kurt.
Kurt, hey,
here you go.
See here, buddy. Boy, I'll tell you what, you can't even see that hook, can you?
No,
he swallowed it.
Swallowed it right down.
Yeah, that he did.
That one's close.
That one's close, buddy. I'll tell you what, for a cold day, we're catching fish, man.
Yeah, it's brutal out here today.
What do you figure it was, 40 last night when we quit, and it's about 20, 15 right now?
15, 20, a nice wind chill.
If he's not legal, you better throw him back before he freezes. Folks, it's time now to announce this week's winners of the Mills Fleet Farm John Gillespie's Waters and Woods 2017 fishing contest. Terry Kirkman of Barron, Wisconsin is this week's first winner. He caught this 21-inch bass on McKenzie Lake on a shiner. Tim Weigel of Woodbury, Minnesota iced this 15-inch crappie on White Bear Lake on a jig. Gene Malum of Oak Creek, Wisconsin caught this 31-inch walleye on Mercer Lake on a golden shiner. Mark Cassidy Jr. of West Bend speared this 70-inch sturgeon on Lake Winnebago. And this week's kids winners are Andrew Lehman of Wapaka caught this 27-inch walleye on Twin Lake on a minnow. And Tyler Glonner of Eagle River caught this 22-inch largemouth on a Vilas County lake on a shiner. Our adult winners will receive a $25 Mills Fleet Farm gift card. Our kids winners a Plano tackle box. To enter is simple. Just snap a picture of your trophy catch and stop in at your favorite Mills Fleet Farm store to pick up an entry blank, or go to fleetfarm.com to download an entry blank. Remember, folks, for all your spring fishing needs, including your fishing licenses, go to Mills Fleet Farm. Mills Fleet Farm, your fishing gear headquarters. Back of the boat, Dave. Back of the boat, buddy.
Let me get the Frable, John.
Okay, yeah, got that net. Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. And there we go. Whoa, get him, buddy. There we go.
Oh, nice fish, John.
Not a bad walleye there, buddy. I'll tell you what, folks.
It's brutal out here.
I hate to say it, but I think I've had enough.
Yeah.
Hold him up, though. That's a pretty nice walleye right there, David. And I had to switch back to that just a bare hook and the sinker, you know?
Yeah, it's a tough day today, boy. This is brutal.
Curt Bregar guides the Wisconsin River on a daily basis. For more information, give Curt a call. That phone number is 414-861-5612. 861-5612. Folks, taking a break in the fishing. When you're ice fishing, there is nothing worse than cold feet. Clam has figured out a solution. What is it?
We got a layering system, so it's a two-part system. One's the Thermolite sock. It helps wick moisture away from your skin. If your skin gets wet, it's not going to stay warm. And then you come on top of that with the wool-type sock for warmth properties. With this 1-2 punch, no matter the conditions, John, I keep my feet warm.
And where can folks get more information?
Go to clamoutdoors.com.
Folks, I've been going to Andy Meyer's Lodge for 23 years. What a gorgeous fish, Mike. Oh my gosh, wait till you see the size of this thing. Look at the size of that Sluggosaurus massive mastodon. Was that cool or what?
Yes, good job.
First
I get to say good job, John.
Folks, I'll tell you what, this is like being in heaven. It really is. I mean, when you got this kind of fishing. And again, we've been out here 45 minutes. Well, we caught our fish, and want to mention again, you know, as far as guiding is concerned, your nephew Curt is handling a lot of the business.
Yeah, yep, he's been doing a good job. Thank God he got us on fish today.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, the best fishing's coming up in the next couple of weeks, right?
You betcha.
All right, hey, thanks, folks. And that is our show for today. Please join us next week. I don't know where we're going to fish yet. We will find a place somewhere. Until then, I'm John Gillespie, hoping to see you enjoying John Gillespie's Waters and Woods.
John Gillespie! Hey, John Gillespie! Hey, John Gillespie! Hey, John Gillespie! He's the fishing man, fishing anytime he can, yeah!